Hi everyone, I'm sure glad you joined me on this orchestra day. We're going to work on a couple of things. First of all, let's get tuned. Here is your A. Your D. G. C. And E. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do today is the next part of our twinkle variation, which I call either twinkle variation D or E, but most importantly, wish I had a watermelon. Now I say wish I had a watermelon because that's the motion of our bow. It moves that fast with each syllable. Wish I had a watermelon, wish I had a watermelon. Okay? So with that, remember that every wish is a down bow. Wish I had a watermelon. If you start finding that you're going, wish I had a watermelon, then it's not right. Wish I had a watermelon. And then melon is up. Wish I had a watermelon. Wish I had a watermelon. Wish I had a watermelon. All right. So let's do that on the D string like you did last time. 8 times, please. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Wish I had a watermelon. Wish I had a water. Wish I had a watermelon. Wish I had a watermelon. Had a watermelon. Wish I had a watermelon. Wish I had a watermelon. Now you may have noticed it kind of sounded like bouncing. And that's because the motion that I learned to do that causes the, less stress on your whole body and helps you to move naturally is just a nice strong downward stroke, and then you lift up your hand. You don't need to feel like you're pushing back up, except maybe for bass, a little bit more effort on each side. But remember, for violin and viola, it's in the wrist. This is what's bending right here. And for cello and bass, it's in the elbow, like you're a scarecrow. All right, so let's do the new thing now today, which is switching between D and A strings. For bass, remember that your first finger is down on your G string, so that you're playing an A whenever I say A. Okay, here we go from D. 1 and 2. Let's do this 8 times. Ready, and D, A. Halfway through. Did you find that you started slurring between? Okay, make sure that you stop and work. Stop, set, bow, ready, go. Stop, set, bow, ready, go. Stop, set, bow, ready, go. Good, and don't forget to say the words or else you're not going to know how many strokes to do. Okay, so once you've worked out all that, you can pause right here if you need it. If not, let's get on going. You're going to play Wish I Had a Watermelon on D and A. I'll shout out the words as I play the melody. 1 and 2. I'm going to give you an introduction. Ready, go. D, A. Here's D, A, 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 A. Should be matching here right now. D, A, again match. D, A, D, A. That's it. Nice working. All right. Now, we're going to work on a couple of things that I like to call arpeggios. Arpeggios is when you play like notes in a scale, but you skip every other note for 3 notes long. Let's start with D. And if we were to play a scale, what would be the next note up? E, right? Everyone has a first finger for that note. And then the next note is F's. Well, what if we skipped from D to F's? Okay? For cello and, for violin and viola, I should say, we go D2. For cello, you go D3. For bass, you go D4. Okay? Now, we're going to go to the next A. This is the same A we just played. Okay? So for bass, it's D4, 1. For cello, D3, open A. Everyone else, same thing. D2, open A. Can you do that with me? Ready, go. D, F's, A again, and D, F's, A last time, and D, F's, A. Nice job. Let's go back down. A, F's, D. Ready, go. A, F's, D again. A, F's, D. Let's go up and down this time. Ready, go. D, F's, A. Now A, F's, D. Nice job. All right. So the reason why I bring that up is because arpeggios is one of the things I want you to learn, probably that's new, that we have never labeled before, we haven't worked too much on. And it's going to appear in your Essential Elements exercise on Smart Music. This is number 117, the Banana Boat Song. Why am I talking like that? Because it's from the Caribbean, man. The Banana Boat Song has lots of things that we've learned, and the arpeggios is the new thing that we haven't learned. Let's start by saying the names of the notes. Everyone make sure that you're fingering along and saying the names of the notes. Beginning. 1, 2, ready, and D, and C's, and B, 2, A, and D, 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 F's, 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 E, D, E, E, D. Lots of notes here. And D, D, F's, F's, A, F's, G, B, B, A. Next line. And D, 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 F's, 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 E, D, E, E, D. And 3, 4. And D, D, F's, F's, A, F's, G, B, B, A. And 4. And D, 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 F's, 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 E, D, E, E, D, and 2, and... Alright, now you're trying to pluck along. Ready? I'm gonna bow while you pluck. 1, 2, ready, and... Start. Now you may see right there it says DC all fine. All that Italian means that you're going to start from the top until it says fine. So you see where fine is? Do you see where the start of the music is, or the top? Yeah, there's 4 measures in between that. And it starts on D, then C's, then B, then A. Alright, let's do that again together. You're plucking, I'm playing. Ready, and C's, B, keep the beat, A, D, D, F's, F's, F's. Do you remember we saw that on a piece of music not too long ago where it says basically just start from the beginning again? Alright, DC, like Washington, D.C. You can remember when you see that. Also, should be an orange box that explains all of that on your page at the top of this exercise. Okay, now let's talk about how the bowing works here, because there's there's 2 cool things of bowing that I wanted to teach you that basically you've already learned. We're just reviewing it. The first thing that you'll see in measure 3 is our rhythm that we learned from variation long wiggle. let's just do that on open D. Ready, set, measure 3. Now, do it with your fingers. You're going to go D, 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 then lay down your Fs, Fs, Fs. Ready, set, ready, go. Good. Now don't panic. The next thing that we're going to learn is the slur. For those notes, I want you to focus on your bowing first. Da, 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 da. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, let's do that on open D. Ready, set, ready, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Again, set, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now you should have already plucked this, but let's do this now. 1, measure 4, ready, go. So the thing about slurs is that your left hand is doing something different rhythmically than your right hand is doing. This is how it sounds together. Listen. You're going to have your first finger down when you start, and then lift it. Da, ready. Practice with me, just with your first finger. Ready, and da, ready again. Da, last time, go. Da, okay, now here we go. 1 and 2, ready with your bow. One more time. Ready, set, and go. Now, you're going to want to rush when you see those lots of those notes ahead, but don't rush. Always hold out the half notes for their full value. All right. Let's start for the first 4 measures, please. Start right here on the D. 1, 2, ready, and go. With your bow. B, C's, B, A. Here's that third measure. Next measure. Ready, go. 4th finger. Pause right there. Now, did you notice how you had to go from your G to your B, especially if you're a violin, viola, and cello? All right? For you guys, you had to have your G down and then reach over to the A string with your first finger. A little bit easier for bass, right? 1, and then you just go to 4th finger, right? Or you go from open to 4 finger, right? All right, let's do from the fine again. Do you see where that is? Measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 5. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and ready, set, and ready, go. Whoops, I started that wrong. Sorry. Ready, go. 1 and 2. Hey, this looks familiar. So is this. So is this. Hey, this whole thing is made up of parts of each other. So here's what you're going to do to practice. Practice measures 1 and 2. They're unique to anything else. Practice measures 3 and 4 together. And then practice measures 5 and 6. And if you do that, the whole rest of the song is made out of parts of that. Okay? Cool stuff. Let's play. I'm going to grab bass this time. And let's play through the whole song together. Alrighty. 1, 2. 1, 2, get ready, go. Begin, finish. Remember, repeat from the beginning. Go. Just those 2 measures left. All right. Fun song. I really like it a lot. And it's going to review a lot of the stuff that we've learned in other pieces so that it sticks in your memory. Okay, speaking of concert pieces, let's move on now to a song called Tribal Lament. For Tribal Lament, this song is also made out of pieces that repeat later on in the music. So try to keep up with me as I talk about what instrument and what measure we're talking about. So at the very beginning, I'm going to start talking to first violins, violin ones. Remember who I assigned? I'm going to be talking to you about measure 1. But second violins and violas, I want you to jump ahead to measure 17. Okay, these next 8 measures are the same for all of you. Cellos and basses don't phase out right now because we're going to be talking about some bowing stuff that will interest you and some rhythm stuff. Okay? So, when we play these first few measures, let's pick apart the first 4 measures of what I just said. It's going to say the names of the notes together with me. Ready? Start on E. 1, 2, ready, and E, 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 D, E, 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 F's, G, F's, E. Nice, okay? Let's shadow bow that one. E, E, sing it if you can. Ready, and E, 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 D, E, 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 F's, G, 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 F's, E, E, E. Now this next measure is very important to shadow bow. Here is measure, or the 5th measure of the ones I just said, okay? You're gonna go B, B, A, B, A. Now notice how my bow pattern didn't change. B, 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 A, B, A. Say that with me. Ready, go. B, 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 A, B, A. Next measure, it's gonna go G, F's, E, F's. Ready, set, down bow first. G, F's, E, F's. And that one's a half note. So I go slower. Again, ready, and G, F's, E, F's. Okay? Next one is the same as before, but this time our bow is going backwards. Yes, we're starting that B on the up bow as we move on. Ready, and B, B, A, B, A, G, F's, E, E. Now notice how that ended with an E instead of an F's, okay? Let's play from measure 1. And we're going to take a break once we get halfway through that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, and F's. Now it says bow lift right here, right? So that you're going to start again near the frog. Ready, and I don't expect you to get that the first time, but you hear what it's supposed to sound like. Rewind this as much as you need to get caught up to that. Okay? Awesome possum. So, first violins, second violins, and violas. I've caught you up for a bit of time here. Let's talk about, let's talk about at the very beginning now for second violins and violas. And yes, you both have the same fingerings at the same time right here. Alright, so let's say the names of the notes, seconds and violas, at measure 1. Here we go. Starting with the B on the G string. Second finger, ready, and B, 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 A, B, 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 D, E, 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 D, B, E, E. You're going to hear the tribal sounds in here. Next, we're just going to go to G, ready, and G, G, F, G, E, 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 D, G, G, F, G, E, E, E. This one's a little bit more of a jump than we've done before. E, E. Okay? Awesome possum. I think you guys can handle that bowing, especially with what we just did. Let's handle it together. Here's the first 8 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bow, finger ready, set, and go. Circle bow, and I did a couple of mistakes there, my guys. Let's start again. Ready, set, ready, and circle bow, and And then notice how you start the next 4 measures exactly the same way as what I just taught you. All right, seconds and violas. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I need to talk to you about. Yes, there is. Let's talk to all seconds, violas, and first violins. Your last few notes, first violins, at the very end of this song. Now, what did I say before about cutting and shaping this whole song out of little pieces? The whole rest of the song is all the same thing as I just taught you guys, except for the last measure. So, first, seconds, and violas, here is your last note. For first, it's E, E, E. Now, notice how there's a little accent on each of those, or rather this way, accent, accent, accent. That means you're going to do with lots of speed, lots of bow. Make sure it doesn't crunch like this, but find a middle ground that it's not light like this. That's an open E for you first violins. Second violins, it's a G. And violas, it's a, wait a second, same thing, it's a G. Alright, that's how you do that. So, first, seconds, and violas, you guys are done for the day. Have a good one, and start practicing. Cellos and bass, let's talk to you guys. For cello, when you are playing the first few measures, notice how you just keep a nice little E there. Don't forget to count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now notice I'm separating these notes a little bit. And 3, 4, and then we circle bow. E, A. When you get to the A, start hovering above the D string. Notice how we go straight to an E instead of an F sharp this time. Same with bass, okay? Now, gonna go on to your measure 13. 1, 2, ready, and go. Yes, you do have the melody here, guys. Check it out. Here's measure 17. Again, same shadow bowing technique that I told the first and second violins, or just first violins. Down, up. If you want to, you can separate these so that you can hear the rhythm in your left finger. Okay, that's measure 17. Let's do measure 18 the same way. Starting with the down bow. Ready, set, ready, end. Alright, now let's put it together smoothly, starting at measure 17. Ready, set, ready, go. And that's that part for you guys. Everything else should look normal to what I just taught you, except for your last 3 notes. Your last 3 notes are B. Make it nice and accented. Beautiful. Alright, bass, your turn. Hopefully you've been following along and you've been doing the same bowing stuff with everybody else. So let's talk about notes in particular. So you know you start with an E. Ooh, can't really see me right there. I'm going to move over. So you know you start with an E. Don't forget to count for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when you lift right here, you're going to put your 4th finger down on the A string. Open, hover forward. Now this is that across the street neighbor where you went from F sharp to B. First finger this time. Alright, now jumping ahead to measure 13, this is where it goes. E, 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 D, E, E, E. 4th finger Fs. And then you have probably your most difficult spot. You're going to go 4, 4, 1. Yep. 4, 4, 1. 4, 1. Do that again. 4-1. Again, ready, and. Now again, just same with the cello. If this gives you some trouble and you're thinking, wait, what just happened? I don't know. It's your brain learning how to do two different things at the same time, like rub your belly and pat your head at the same time. So let's break it apart. Break. Ready, again, go. Then the next measure, 0-4. Ready, and. And yes, we do have to change strings there. Again, ready to go. Go on, ready, and. Alright, then the next measure, you have the same thing basically, except you stay on the E. Alright, I'm going to play from measure 17 for 4 measures long. Get ready to play with me at measure 17. 1, 2, ready, and. And that's all the new stuff for you, except for the last few notes. That's your open E string. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and rest. That's the way it goes. Okay, guys, if you're still watching, congratulations. You made it all the way to the end. And thanks for paying attention to all of the cool stuff that we've been learning. Have a great one. I hope you're doing well. Bye.